Unscripted.
It's been a bit of a wonky start to a next generation, and I think that's to be expected, all things considered. But, you know, I still think that a lot of people are really going to be excited by what the future brings, and I think that right now Sony has a bit of an inside track. Although, as I've been stating recently, Microsoft is making all the right noise and making all the right kind of moves and making all the noise, and I think that that's something that really should get everybody excited, right? Like, that's something that because, you know, we're going to get the competition. We're going to see Microsoft, and we're going to see Sony, and then we're going to see Sony do something, and then Microsoft is going to do something, and I feel like that's going to be good for everybody, you know, everybody in all things considered, right? That's just going to be how it's going to be. Now, when it comes to the ability to go out there and kind of change the way gaming is made, I think that that says a little bit something different. But we are starting to see some movement and some big announcements from Sony. Then it looks like more and more consoles are going to be in stock and things like that, and I think that's going to be a huge piece of news for a lot of people, because I know a lot of people out there have yet to get their PlayStation 5s, and unfortunately it looks like you are going to be able to pick these up at some particular point sooner rather than later. So that's going to be very exciting as well. And now we even got some more news. Listen, this was what I was saying, like, anytime you see some announcement stuff like this, it really is like pushing the industry forward, and I love to see that, you know, whether it's Microsoft or Sony or Nintendo or whoever it is. This is why I'm such a big like VR fan when it comes to Sony. I just feel like VR, really, that option kind of pushes the industry forward, and then you see stuff like this, and I absolutely love it. So I do want to get started. However, let's go. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, and all that kind of good stuff if you haven't already done so. It is free for everybody to do. You know, and shout out to all the old subscribers, new subscribers, and everybody in between. We're rebuilding the channel together. I asked your guys' input, and you guys gave some input, and so far I'm liking what I'm seeing, you know, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, guys, and continue to leave the input. I appreciate that. So obviously, what we see from the PlayStation 5 in particular is a situation where the console is selling extremely well when it's available, when you can actually get one, when it's something that, you know, fans can actually pick up. I feel like, you know, as far as we've been able to see so far, it's been few and far between that people have been able to go out there and kind of find one of these consoles and, you know, pick it up and be able to actually game. Unfortunately, you know, that's kind of a rough thing. Now, I have one. I still think, like, before you make that plunge, make sure that you're ready. Make sure that you have a console that can, you know, like a TV that can really adequately kind of do what you need it to do. Like, I made this suggestion today on Twitter as well. It's like, unless you really have an HDMI 2.1 ready console, you're not going to get the most out of this thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's just being fact. Yes, you can play it on an older one and get some frame rate improvements and stuff like that, but having hooked up my PS5 to my older 4K 60 TVs, it wasn't nearly as intuitive or responsive or look as good as what it does right now. So again, this is a huge thing. You know, like the new TVs, I feel like are definitely a huge. I just feel like, you know, like the newer TVs are much better set up. Not to say that you can't use the older ones, but I just find it to be much easier and much funner. And much funner, guys. It's funner to play it on, you know, like the newer TVs and stuff like that. So just my opinion. And guess what, man? You can get a 55-inch CX OLED for, you know, $1,200 on sale most places. Make sure like it has like the HDMI 2.1. Again, you can get some advancements and stuff from newer consoles on older TVs. Like, you're definitely going to get the frame rate stuff. I just feel like for me, it was a night and day difference. But then again, also I was going from LED 4K 60 to OLED, you know, 4K 120 with VRR built in and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, night and day differences, but just a little bit more proof to the pudding that the PlayStation 5 is in such high demand, This is very interesting because Spider-Man Miles Morales tops the UK charts with 90% of the sales on the PlayStation 5. And this is significant because this game has stayed within the top few on both the US and UK charts since launch. And basically what happens is restock will happen of a PS5. People will buy the PS5 and they'll buy Spider-Man Miles Morales with it. And that's something that really, I think, makes a lot of sense kind of going forward. It just goes to show you that the last gen stuff maybe wasn't even needed, because if you really think about it, people are using this game as a means to show off the new hardware, and that makes the most sense. So the amount of stock, PS5 stock in the UK has improved over the past month and a half, and as a result, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales has topped the physical sales chart in the regions, was increasing 36% week on week. This will be the first time it's topped UK charts since launching in November 2020. Though available on the PlayStation 4 as well, Insomniac's latest is currently the best-selling launch title for the PlayStation 5 with regards to physical sales, at about 90% of its sales for the past week were PS5 as well. Meanwhile, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury has dropped to second place after being on top for 4 straight weeks. Sales dropped by 15% week on week. Otherwise, it's business as usual, with Animal Crossing New Horizons, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe remaining in 3rd and 4th place respectively. Minecraft on Switch went from 8th to 5th place, with Super Mario 3D All-Stars dropped to 9th from 6th place. So that's very interesting to see that Call of Duty's in there, Grand Theft Auto 5, Assassin's Creed Valhalla all in the top 10 as well. But very interesting to see Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales in there, 5 months after launch, and it's been there on the NPD as well. So it just goes to show you, as stock increases, we keep seeing people buying this game, and it's really just kind of showcasing exactly what's going on. So this wasn't the only bit of very interesting news as well. This was something that I felt was huge just in general. So again, this is changing gaming. So due to the positive PS5 DualSense controller reception, interest in haptics and things like that has kind of really been huge, and I think that's great for everybody. This is competition, folks. Again, we might even see Microsoft put out new controllers with haptics in it as well, due to the positive reaction. So the positive reception to Sony's PS5 DualSense controller has sparked industry interest in haptics, according to the inventor and licensor of the tech. During a financial earnings call with investors, Immersion Corp's interim CEO Jared Smith mentioned the successful launch of the PS5 back in November of last year and expressed to be very happy with the partnership with Sony. He said haptic is quickly emerging as one of the most innovative technology for improved user experiences and consumer products and content, as embodied in the Sony PlayStation 5 DualSense controller, which delivers the next-gen gaming experience. He added that he was thrilled with how successful the launch of the PlayStation 5 was in its transformational DualSense controller. As previously shared, Sony Interactive Entertainment and Emergent License and the PlayStation 5 DualSense controller utilize our technology Emergent collective royalty from each controller, and we expect more than one controller will ship for console over time to support multiplayer gaming and to replace worn out controllers. As for the revenue gained from the deal with Sony, and the CEO actually commented, and he said that he expects it to remain very successful in the years ahead. As a matter of fact, the positive market reception of the PS5 DualSense controller has greatly increased interest in haptics across the industry. We received our first global royalty report and revenue for PlayStation 5 DualSense controllers in Q4. It was in line with our expectations, and we continue to expect the platform and controller to be very successful in the quarters and years ahead. The positive market reception of the DualSense controller has catalyzed increased market interest in haptics, which we're seeing across the industry, as well as in our customer and partner engagements. Further in the conference call, the interim CEO was asked about the deal that Immersion struck with Sony and how he feels about it now that the PS5 and DualSense controller are available. In his answer, Smith highlighted the potential of the license in combination with the success of Sony's consoles in the past. So to answer your question, I'm very happy about the Sony license and the scope and economics and the potential. That's certainly something that I'm feeling very good about. And Sony has a strong track record with their consoles, and they shipped over a long period of time in high volume, so I'm very excited about that. So again, when Sony does well, they do well. Obviously, everybody really likes the DualSense controller. Myself personally, I think it's probably the best controller that I've played with. You know, and that's not like fanboy talk. That's just realistically, when you play with that controller, you understand sort of there's something different going on that you're not really used to. So I just find it to be that much more interesting, and you know, I think that that's something that's really fantastic. So that's absolutely incredible, to say the least. And I'm looking forward to hearing what everybody else has to say about this. Just let me know. Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe. I'm going to link all of this for everybody as soon as possible, and you guys can check it out. And anyway, sound off, rate, comment, subscribe. Take care of each other. Stay safe, happy, and healthy. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are amazing. Take care. Rack 'em up. Game on, my friends. Game on. Crap Gamer out.
Unscripted.